Boner.
Blah.
Yeah.
That's live.
Well, I regret everything. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
That was so much.
Stream.
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes on
Oh, this
stream.
is
It's a-
this is
The
going to
emojis
be
are coming on stream.
this is going to be a true, and I'm in the worst place for it. You've placed my
best.
my camera in Discord is placed directly in like the splash zone. For emojis.
It is. Oh my god.
Well, hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Things are a little buck wild here. Christy's producing for us tonight, as I am clearly not at my house. I am in this hotel room. I'm in a nondescript room in an
Things are not
undisclosed
going
location.
well for Matt.
I'm having some trouble with the law, but
Oh,
that
no.
doesn't mean we're not going to play D&D.
Oh no.
This
Try
stream,
and find
this,
him now.
this stream can go for exactly 1 hour and 48 minutes, and then it has to end because that is how long it takes the FBI to hunt down the
Oh,
IP
shit.
address. Come find me. No, I'm at a work conference this week, but I was bullied into DMing anyway, so we're gonna play.
Yeah.
And by bullied, I mean one person was like, "Oh, I wanted to play this week," and I was like, "Okay."
That's my arm. Oh no.
So that's what we're doing. Let's kick off. Let's thank our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. As always, you can get a link to those websites by typing !CCG and !Little Dragon into chat during tonight's stream. If you'd like, you'll get a link to their sites. You can check them out. They are fantastic people who sell fantastic products. Little Dragon Corp is a seller of polyhedral dice. You can use our code bonus at checkout. Right? Yes. Bonus at checkout to get 15%. I forgot what my joke was, and the joke is that I don't remember what it was.
It's 15% less letters
That's
for
it.
15%.
15% less letters for an extra 5% off.
Yeah.
So the code bonus will get you 15% off your order with Old Dragon Corp. And Cardboard Castle has all sorts of fun things, probably dice too. Really, I have utilized their website for looking at tabletop RPGs and trading card stuff. Which they have. Pokemans! So, the recap for tonight's stream. When we last left the pirates, you had returned to your vessel via teleportation from Terra Libra, the city of the bookkeepers, the Ordinum Libri, to find it under attack by Ignian forces. You fought those Ignian forces to a standstill, found out from Apora Dazan, your guys' second mate who had been running the ship in your absence, that they had chosen to try and lead these Ignians away from Naporia as they were sort of like systematically checking the islands in the region where you had left them, and considering it would be bad news for them to find your guys' stolen Ignian warship in the harbor, as well as the remains of the other Ignian warship, which you guys facilitated being crushed by an island monster. Apora led them off, and that is sort of where you rejoined things. Defeated both of those ships, negotiated with the surviving captain of one of the ships for information on the Ignian Empire's Suncraft. Information on the Ignian Empire's movements, the movements of the Armada, in exchange for saving some of his fellow naval soldiers from the other ship that you sunk. He told you that the Armada had split into two. One part of the Armada was heading around the Cape of Honorand, heading for the west coast of Mithlanday to blockade their port city there, while a smaller secret group had broken off and was heading towards Mount Iolaquis, the sort of dormant volcano for which the island chain got its name. Among that group of ships heading for Mount Iolaquis is a sort of like special forces unit of some sort, dispatched directly by the Emperor, apparently, or as the rumor went, according to the Ignian captain. So you guys have decided to pursue that as your most likely lead of what the Brotherhood is up to. You sailed through a pretty hefty storm, coming through none the worse for wear and managing not to lose any additional time. you spotted a sort of a strange occurrence out on the horizon, a pair of ships interlocked into each other, one of which had a yellow flag raised, flag representing the essentially the message "Quarantine, do not approach." And you guys chose to heed that, in fact, and you did not approach. After some debate and argument, you guys elected to leave that alone in exchange for making better time and heading on your way towards Mount Iolaquis. So, we're going to resume this week, pretty much where we left off last week, where you guys have sailed on your way. You are in the last couple of days of your sort of journey at sea to reach Mount Iolaquis. So at this point, I'm going to kind of place you as you guys come just into view over the horizon of like the first of the small barrier islands that surround Mount Iolaquis. So probably the mountain itself appears first over the horizon. You see the sort of loom of this very tall, kind of irregularly flat-topped mountain range covered in this lush green jungle foliage appears over the horizon. And then shortly thereafter, you see like the peaks of shorter islands much closer to you, smaller, beginning to kind of appear. So what you're basically sailing up to now is a fairly dense atoll, a chain of basically islands formed by the volcano long ago that surround the large major center island. As you approach, anybody who's kind of like looking to the horizon, you guys can make a perception check if you'd like.
Dang, I should have gotten my dice out before this exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not 20. Oh,
3.
14's pretty good for me. I'll take that one.
16.
19.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Christy, your Aircon is coming over.
again? How about now?
what you see, those of you who rolled higher than the 15, and we'll get to the nat 20 in a second. Those of you who rolled higher than 15, you see that as you guys approach, you do not see any Ignian ships in the area right now. So as you sail to the kind of outer rim of these first of these little barrier islands, you see no evidence of the Ignian fleet here, or at least no direct evidence of their ships. What you do see is what you can assume is evidence of their passing. There are on the outermost of these islands. You can see that there is they're not in fact deserted. They have civilization on them. There are series of kind of small, sprawled out, very basic, wooden and thrush, sort of huts and dwellings, very rudimentary structures exist on some of the outskirts of these islands. You see that there are there's evidence of an assault on these small little town. Towns is not even the right word. These little clusters of dwellings. You see the evidence there are several of them that are just imploded in from where a cannonball probably hit them and crushed them in. There's craters on the beach. You do see with the nat 20 Nimue. Further, two pieces of further information. Further in, you see that as the islands kind of move inward towards the large central island, still in the distance, in the middle of this atoll, you see that a number of them are very narrow and thin, but quite tall. There's a lot of these high, almost completely vertical, mesa'd little outcroppings of rock that rise up and kind of surround part of this area. And you can see that there are little speckles in in these rocky outcroppings that you kind of realize are like the openings of caves or alcoves or some sort of entry to the interior of the rock that has been opened. The other thing you see as you guys are sailing closer is on those beaches, those first beaches where you saw that like some cannons were shot into some like buildings, it looked like. Nimue, you are actually the first to spot that there are some bodies on the beach. Most of them, from what you can see, appear to be goblins. Short in stature, kind of green-skinned. That's about as much as you can tell from a distance. But you actually do see there are several Ignian corpses on the beach. So whatever happened here, the Ignians didn't just like sail by and just like shoot these dwellings with cannons. Like they made landfall here, had some sort of a skirmish with these goblins, which
goblins put up a fight.
Clearly, it looks like they lost. There is probably, especially with the Nat 20, there's not enough bodies. Like, there's not enough goblin bodies strewn around that, like, to represent, you think, everything, everybody that was, like, in this little area. And, you can kind of tell based on the way that you see the little settlements pockmarked around here that, like, this is not, the only cluster of such individuals. So the Ignians had some sort of a skirmish here on their way in. But from what you can tell, it looks like they have then like navigated in and started to weave through these barrier islands to move deeper in towards Mount Iolaquis.
I will point that out to
away
my
from
party.
you.
Yeah, I'll point it out to my party so they're aware of what I'm seeing.
Still wouldn't say that, never mind. I had a Victoria thought, but it's not what my character would do.
Put up a fight, but I don't think they stood much of a chance here.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. I didn't try. Should we see if there are any survivors? Perhaps they could offer more information.
If there's anything, they might have taken refuge in those like cave areas, or
those cave things are. You're going to have to sail into the atoll to get to some of the more distant islands that have those on them. Okay. The kind of ones you're sailing up on now are sort of like small narrow clusters of island with a little bit of topography, but mostly just kind of some jungle and some of these buildings around the shoreline.
Or they just
took
them.
We even sail the ship into the atoll, or is it like too dangerous with like coral? That's what I'm. Normally, like that's like where you get your shipwrecked. Is there coral stuff that we can like see? Because that's what would be dangerous.
Make a wisdom check. Anybody who kind of is pondering on this.
That's a natural one.
Nat 1, okay.
I got a 16.
16, okay.
For coral check.
Okay.
5.
Anybody else rolling? 5, okay.
Oh, come on, Captain.
Thanks. Did you roll?
Fixus probably wouldn't even be thinking about that.
Okay. So, then I think probably... All right, so kind of the way that I think this makes sense, right? Sela and Murderbeard, you guys are like...
We're too smart to ever do that.
Well, you're kind of looking, you're like, this is dangerous sailing to try and, like, start weaving into this atoll. Should we, take the don't try us? Should we get out? And, you kind of have this discussion. Rowan, I think with your like higher wisdom check there, I think it kind of dawns on you. You sort of realize, well, we pushed through the storm so as not to let them get any other lead on us. And there's not a bunch of Ignian ships here. Had they, like, sailed around, we probably would still see them somewhere here. So, by, like, deductive reasoning, then you can kind of say, like, well, the Ignians went in, and, like, they didn't sink all their ships, so, like, it must be doable.
I'll share that with everybody.
You make a
Maybe
good point.
maybe Scylla's got a good point. If we do find some survivors, maybe they can give us some information about what's actually in there.
Do we want to sail in and then seek out those caves?
Do we want to put some of us just on the don't try us, because that can go in a little further without risking the whole ship. And that can go faster.
That is probably for the best. We don't want to risk the entire crew coming along. Do we?
I don't. It's
Captain?
up to you guys.
I'm okay with us taking the don't try us and only like main officers check it out.
Can I make a suggestion, Nimue? I don't know who has them, but the rings.
I have one.
Can you leave the other with Apora? So that if we want them to bring the ship around the other side,
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
in case it becomes a cannon fight against the don't try us, we can get reinforcements.
Yep. Probably a good idea to have backup, huh?
And then that way we can get to them, communicate a little faster.
Mm.
And Apora can tell us if they see anything.
Does Captain have it, or
I think so, from when we were from the boys' weekend
either
and the girls'
Captain or
weekend.
Sela, one of the two? Because Sela,
Not me.
No, you don't have it anymore. I know.
I think it was Captain from boys' weekend way back.
Oh, that's right.
It's on two of you, so you can just give it to anything. Like you don't have to worry about who has it. Just whoever wants to have it now can have it now.
Okay.
Whoever had it before will just have traded it off. It's not a big deal. Okay, so the plan is kind of to sail the Grimm's Folly in a little bit closer into position, and then launch the Don't Try Us to the shore and check out the scene there. Okay.
Yeah. I think
Alrighty.
we're leaving, like, I think we're the only ones that are going on the don't try us, right?
So the five of you are going to go ashore. You're leaving one of your rings of sending with Apora, and the Grimm's Folly is just kind of like they're just going to sort of like more slightly offshore and like cover you in case there's any trouble.
Like a little patrol.
Okay. That is no problem. So you guys then sail inwards towards the outer ring of the atoll. The weather today is a little bit windy. You're sort of in like the aftermath of of that storm that you passed through. So it's a little bit overcast. It's a little gray. It's a little windy. The outskirts of this atoll is still kind of, you have clear visibility. You're able to see onto the shore. But as you kind of look further in, you see the rest of these. You see kind of like the suggestion of topography in these further pieces of landmass that are kind of shrouded in this mist that kind of hangs around the area. And the features that you were able to make out deeper in, the Mount Iolocus itself, those areas that are further in kind of protrude out of this like mire that is settled over the interior, cutting your visibility much further in than sort of where you sail to. But you're able to kind of move yourself into position. The Grimm's Folly kind of like angles itself broadside to, there's, if you kind of imagine like two pieces of land that kind of come like this, where the most obvious route in is to kind of sail this way, and you guys are heading sort of to the outward one. The Grimm's Folly kind of like parks themselves here, so that if anybody like comes sailing out of that corridor, they can just like, but you guys are able to board the Don't Try Us and shove off for the shore. Does not take more than a couple of minutes to get there. You move in pretty close, and before too long, you kind of you hear the like, and the ship slides to a stop on sand as you reach the shore.
I think I'm gonna go try and see if I can find survivors at this point.
Okay. Make an investigation check, I guess. I was thinking does a medicine check make sense, but I think an investigation check makes sense first.
I mean, I would probably, if I saw, if Nimue was doing that, I would go with.
Okay.
I will also go, but I'm instead trying to look to see if there are signs of the Ignian people here in this
Okay.
area.
Dirty 20.
All right. Dirty 20.
Investigation. Yep.
And Rowan and Murderbeard, what are you guys doing?
Working with Nimue and Thixus says they look for survivors, but I want to keep an eye out in case there's any Ignians still here.
Okay.
Just kind of listening out in case they're gonna
Got her back.
pop up. Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna stay like at the wheel in case we need to.
Okay, so you're gonna stay
Good
on the
idea.
Delta.
Yeah.
No.
In case we need to peel out real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Good call.
Nimue would have noticed Thixus like drift off about 100 feet from her and cast some incantations, and the blue glow quickly flashes off his skin,
Oh, no.
and then dissipates, and then he returns.
Okay.
Sorry, just needed to armor up.
And the space was just in case. I got you. I understand.
Oh yeah.
I
I didn't want
understand.
anything bad to happen in the
No,
meantime, you know.
You're good, thanks. I can still see you. It's okay.
Okay, so I had a dirty 20 from Nimue. What are some other investigation checks for people who are doing?
Am I also an investigation check for like looking for signs of? Okay, just
Yeah, I
making
think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
Would keeping an eye out for the Ignians be a perception for me? Or
Yeah.
investigation?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do a perception.
They said a 24 investigation.
Okay.
and I got an 18.
Okay.
And I got a 17 perception for
Hey,
Ignian
look at
watching
us.
of the bats.
Okay. So the investigation gang, all very good rolls. So what you guys find, you search through the scene here. You find nobody alive. There are about a dozen dead goblins, and there are 4 dead Ignians here. The scene that you kind of piece together from your investigation check, the 4 dead Ignians are kind of like clustered together, sort of near the shoreline. There are a few dead goblins kind of near them. And you can see based on the way like this kind of like the scuffle and the churn of the sand, it seems like these Ignians came ashore, went like a little further in towards this little like cluster of buildings here, and then a fight broke out, and the goblins like pushed the Ignians back to the shoreline. You know, the Ignians basically like retreated. The Ignians managed to kill a few goblins, but in the process, the Ignians were slain. That's kind of the evidence of like a physical clash. And then it looks to you, based on like the evidence kind of after that, after this like shore party came aboard, had this confrontation, and was killed, then they just blasted the shit out of this whole area with their ship from range. Killing a handful more goblins that are like strewn around where like you see cannonballs impacted buildings. One thing with your investigations of this area that you do find is that this is not you don't find like evidence that these were like homes where like families and stuff were. The insides of these buildings are very utilitarian. They are like cots and like crude chests and like weapon racks. All of the goblins that you find like in the area are crude as it might be, are like armored and armed. You very much get the sense that this was like a sentry outpost, as opposed to like a fishing village or something like that. So this, the scene that kind of takes shape as you look is less the like Ignians coming in and like exploding a goblin village, and more like a clash between 2 opposed armed forces, which on the ground did not go that well for the Ignians, who then just were able to resort to the superior firepower of having cannons and boats and just like blasted this outpost. Any survivors, there is evidence that like there potentially could have been more goblins in this area than you find bodies to account for. So it's possible that there were survivors who have left or were taken prisoner or something like that, taken from here. But you don't find any evidence of anybody else alive here. You don't find any Ignians like still hanging around the area, but rolling with that perception check as you're kind of like looking for Ignians and stuff like that. What you do have occur is as you guys are like searching, Rowan, you're kind of keeping an eye out. From deeper into the atoll, like in among that mist, you hear from that distance, you hear cannon. There are more cannon fire occurs. So like you gauge the Ignians are probably, you know, as the crow flies, probably another, you know, several hundred meters deeper into this like maze of little islets or whatever you would call them, and they are shooting at something again now.
I will tell that to everyone, and I'm gonna start moving back towards the ship. Like,
yeah, I think
F
I'm
this,
also
we're out.
heading back to the boat.
Matt, is it possible for Thyxus would like to get a really close look at all 4 of those Ignians that are dead? Now they're wearing military attire, correct? Is it like a standard like military uniform that they have, or
Make a history check, I guess.
history? I'll take it.
Sort of a general knowledge check.
It's a natural 20 plus 6, 26.
You so these are Ignian. Two of the group that are on here are like Ignian Marines. You know, they're wearing, you know, the armor and the armaments to, you know, come ashore. The others, you can kind of tell from the uniform that they wear, and they're like their weapon is it's like a service blade, but it is like a more ceremonial one. This was, as far as you can tell, a group of like negotiators or diplomat. Like it was a shore party that was intended. You know, the presence of these guys in these different uniforms indicates to you that like they came ashore here to like talk to these goblins. You remember uniforms similar to this with the Ignians that you guys dealt with on Naporia, that came to treat with Nimwe's father and them. So this contingent of Ignians here were, based on their uniforms, came here to try and negotiate in some way. And then something happened that deadly combat kicked off.
I would like to swipe one of those ceremonial blades
Okay, yeah, no problem.
on the way back to the ship.
It is functionally like it's a rapier, you know, for mechanical purposes. Like if you want to add it to your inventory or whatever. But it's basically like a standard issue like Ignian, sort of like diplomat core weapon.
Got it. And I'll rush back to the ship as well.
Okay.
Theme.
So what's the plan now?
They're not that far ahead of us. I don't know if we can sneak up on them.
We could if we stay on the Don't Try Us, but we don't have weapons.
As much firepower.
Right.
And we don't even know how many there are, do we?
No.
I can
Celia, you
hide
look
the
like you
don't.
have an idea.
I can hide the don't try us. I can hide the whole ship.
What?
I have
How?
hallucinatory terrain. I think I can hide the whole ship.
Holy shit!
The whole don't try us?
It is 150. Is it 150 feet long? No, it's way less long than. It's shorter than that. Is the word. Yeah, I can make natural terrain. I think I can. Hold on. Come back to me.
Are you guys sailing back towards the Grimm Folly as you guys are like discussing this? Is that the idea, or are
think
you
we're
still like?
going- I thought we were going into the island, like towards the island proper.
I mean, that's up for a vote. Do we want to go forward with Don't Try Us, or do we want to go back to the Grimm's Folly to get the firepower?
Depends. Does that ring have more than one use on it?
3, I think, in a day.
Okay, just making sure.
Personally,
'Cause
I feel like
if we just sail off, Apora might be like wondering what we're doing.
I feel like if we have only one ship against, like, we know that this is part of, like,
An armada. It's a
yeah, like, that's, we're better off leaving the Grimm's Folly safe and doing what we do best, like, on land. Like, if we
Yeah.
had other pirates with us, we would be in a better position, but I
I
feel
don't
like,
think this should be a ship battle. I think this needs to be a fight on land.
So, as to throw a little bit of a wrench in that, as you guys are kind of like standing on the shore near the Don't Try Us, like planning this out. Now that like Rowan has alerted you guys to it, you hear a couple more times. You hear cannons being sort of fired off. You hear another noise, like offset to the cannons. It's sort of this like low kind of like noise. That's a little bit hard to like identify the source of. But as you guys are kind of standing there, figuring out exactly what you're gonna do, something catches your eye, like motion catches your eye, like straight up, and you guys look up, and you see out of the like sort of like foggy cloud cover, you see something relatively small and fairly fast moving come like ejecting out of the like the fog, and it's sort of moving in this like weird kind of erratic pattern, and it is heading straight for the Grimm's Folly. And it, as you watch, it like kind of like, and then onto the deck of the Grimm's Folly. About 5 seconds later, another 4 similarly sized shapes come out of the mist. These ones, unlike the first one, which was like doing this,
Dementors?
these 4 are straight as an arrow, and they also come down and they like land on the foredeck of the Grimm's Folly.
Question.
Yeah, are these weapons, these people, these creatures? What?
Are we hearing any sounds after it's on the Grimm's Folly? Like explosions? Are we hearing
fighty sounds.
You do not hear. So you are far enough away that like when these things strike, you hear no impact. So whatever they are, they don't land with enough force. You don't hear like a
not hearing damage.
like it was like a piece of artillery.
Okay.
I think
They were. You guys can make a perception check on this as you.
18, which is probably as best as I'm ever gonna do it. I got way too excited about an 18, but I don't really roll well in perception.
23.
My second
Dirty
straight
20.
3 on a perception.
The hell was it? I think I know what you're hinting at, but I don't like it.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so everybody but Thysis, you're fairly certain that these things were like humanoids, like people.
I know what they're doing. Am I
Gotta
gonna
go back now?
No, am I gonna... Are we going back on the ship, or are we doing magic-y things? They're doing what I can do. With the necklace.
Who's got the ring?
Nimue,
Nimue
call.
has it.
Nimue, you get a message from Apora Dazan that says very briefly, we have a situation on the deck. There are potentially hostile boarders.
I repeat that to the party.
Back. Well, we're on the don't try us. Are we wheeling back?
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
can go
yeah, I
back.
think
I think we have to go back now.
We're on our way back. Is anyone hurt? Oh wait, no, don't answer that!
No,
Never mind.
don't answer that!
Okay. You don't get an answer. Apora does not blow another
Cora
charge.
knows not to answer our any questions. He just they just know us better.
Okay. So you guys want to sail back towards the Grimm's Folly?
Yep,
I think
Okay.
so.
yep.
I think all of our statements using the ring should end with "Wait, don't
Wait,
answer that."
don't answer that.
Okay. So you guys sail back towards the Grimm's Folly. As you guys reach the ship, you hear there is some commotion up above, but it is not the commotion of like battle. It is sort of the commotion of like a tenuous, like confused sort of like standoff. You hear the kind of like shuffling of feet on the deck. You hear the kind of like what you hear you know to be sort of like the confused muttering of like your crew. You hear the couple of like clinks of swords, but nobody seems to be actively fighting. As you guys pile back onto the deck of the Grimm's Folly, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage.
14.
Okay.
5.
6.
11.
Guys.
12.
Rolled a natural
Disadvantage.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so here's what you see when you get out of the deck. You guys climb onto the deck. On the the foredeck, directly behind where like the figurehead and the prow of the ship is, there are 5 creatures. 4 of them are standing in what appears to be like a defensive perimeter around the 5th, who is laying on the deck. Your crew has left a space of about 15 feet of like no man's land, and then your crew is just all then like standing lined up opposing them with like weapons ready, but poor design is kind of like up is like up on a crate behind your sort of like row of people, and is like holding everybody at bay, and is just like watching these creatures. The creatures that you see are roughly humanoid in shape, humanoid in human elven in height. However, they are covered in this like bright multicolored plumage. They have feathers and beaked faces and like wide set, almost on the like opposite sides of their heads. There are their eyes. They have like very lightweight looking armor made of this like overlapping like rough hammered metal. They are carrying spears and bows, and they have a pair of like large avian wings protruding from their shoulders. All of them are folded up. The 4 of them that are upright, 2 of them are facing your group. 2 of them have their backs to all of you and are looking like directly over the side of the ship back in the direction of the island, like where you guys just came from. And the one who's on the ground, you can see there is like a small like pool of blood. One of their wings is like kind of like rumpled and at a weird angle. And they have some kind of a wound like beneath their like the plates of their armor. The one who is on the ground is wounded pretty badly, it seems.
I feel like Rowan is about to go try to heal this person, and before she does, I would just like to grab her, and I would like to put something into her hand. It is a cheddar bacon biscuit of healing, and I would
grab
just
one
like
of my own. Yeah.
Okay.
I was way ahead of you on that.
Yeah, just want to make sure you see.
No.
Save your magic.
I'm going to save my magic for us. I'm going to step forward when she tries to hand me hers. She sees I already have my own in my other hand. So I just go, I'm covered.
Yes, the
Birds are
cheddar
like,
bacon
why are
biscuit.
Oh,
And
I forgot we even had that.
The cheddar bay biscuits of healing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to step forward.
They were healing biscuits?
Oh God, Captain.
I just ate them all.
I'm going to step forward with my hands clearly out, like very away from my sword and everything vaguely sharp, and just go, I can heal. I can help. What are you doing on our ship?
They look at you and make an insight check. And as you approach, even with your hands up, the 2 who are facing you, like, put their spears in your
That's
direction.
perfectly fine. I'm not going to get upset about that because they're protecting their friend. Insight check 16.
You are fairly certain that they do not understand common. You don't think they understood what you said to them.
I will try and...
Can I help?
Okay, yeah, I will step forward, put my hand on her shoulder, and mentally repeat what she just said to one of the ones that's like really aggressively.
Okay.
Default answer when people don't understand us. Nimue, help?
Nimue, you do this. The kind of one that's closest to you, you send this to. And you, in response, you see like there's kind of a start as this creature like understands, this communication. It sort of looks to you, looks to Rowan. You also see that he, she, or they, a little tough to tell the gender of these creatures, is like kind of looking at you, looking at the crew, keeps looking like up behind you. And seems extremely perplexed. And your question was, or your statement was like, we can heal you.
We can heal you.
The response that you get back is, we do not know who you are. You ride in a vessel like the others.
We are hunting the others.
Are you looking at the flag? Yeah, they are. They're seeing like their bird.
The flag.
They're probably seeing a little birdie on the flag. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, Sela, you definitely are like the first to piece that together.
That flag's good and bad at the same time.
I think this bird person, as you like hear it mentally, they are also like speaking it out loud. But like, so what the rest of you hear is this bird person like goes like a series of like clicks and squawks and screeches, a language that I don't think any of you would be familiar with.
I'm actually a speaker cooker. No, I don't.
Actually.
I turn into a giant eagle. I speak giant eagle to them.
Yeah. It's certainly possible if anybody like wants to make a like a nature roll, like you just said it, but like not impossible, not unheard of that you guys would like know what Aarakocra are like. Yeah. They're not,
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna roll just to see, because I feel like there might be some where Scylla's from. I don't know, maybe. That's a 21.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is like probably, as you guys come down and you see they're a bunch of bird people. I think you probably all know that they you're like, oh, okay, like these are Aarakocra, like I know what they are. Whether or not like you've ever encountered any before is maybe the difference there, because they're not super widespread outside of like very kind of particular regions where they tend to stay.
I'm gonna say to Nimue really quick. Try to convince them that I can help. That one's not doing well. Its wing is bent. I'm concerned.
You're safe here. We can help him. She's a really good healer.
The one that you are kind of talking to is, he's still like, he's looking at you, he's looking at Rowan, he's like looking at that flag, and he's looking at like your crew.
Does he see Tea Kettle?
If he's like looking up at the flag at the crow's nest, and you guys are looking, maybe Sela, if you look at the flag to be like, oh, is he looking at the flag? You see there is like a tea kettle head like fixedly staring at these bird people from up there. Tea kettle's extremely interested in the Aarakocra. Make a persuasion check.
She get advantage because it's through me, or do I roll, or does she roll?
She doesn't get disadvantage because you guys are like have
Teaming.
some things going for you.
Great.
That's a whole ass 10.
Okay.
I do have inspiration. Could I use inspiration and try and roll?
Yeah.
That? Okay. I'll use it. Yeah. Natural 20!
Okay.
Let us help, Jesus.
Damn.
So here's some things happen in very, very quick succession. This person that you're speaking to via your mind link, you get the sense that like they are about to refuse you. But one of the ones to his back that has been looking out over the edge of the ship this whole time says something in their language. Lets out this like and he like turns, snaps his head back, looks at you guys, looks at the one on the ground, and via your mind link communicates, there is little time. Do it quick, and if we suspect anything amiss, we will kill you.
You're on our ship.
We're
going to help you. It's okay.
For added show of faith, I'm taking Shikai, handing it to Nimue, so
Okay.
I'm not going with like a big weapon, and I'm going to give one of the biscuits to start, just to see how much that will help. I believe these were
Potion of healing,
God.
right?
Yeah,
they do a potion of healing worth.
so it's 2d4
Plus
2, right?
2.
Oh no, the birds are gluten intolerant!
Oh no!
They attack!
Okay, so that 9 points on that one.
Okay.
Just showing at first that I'm trying to help.
Sure, 9 points is enough to
Bleeding.
put him a little bit more right. He's still definitely like kind of messed up, but it is enough that like I think it like stabilizes this one on the ground enough that they're able to kind of like sit back up and get up. So the
I'm willing to do more, but I'm waiting for like some kind of like what's going on here, because like you know.
The one that you kind of healed, like kind of sits up. The one that you had been communicating with looks at this one, and it looks up and
Is he your leader? I ask him in his mind.
kind of nods, and the one that you're talking to kind of like turns back and says, "She, yes."
She. Sorry. I will switch to she. Are you feeling a little better?
And she like kind of looks to you and has this sort of puzzled expression, turns her head like fully sideways to like regard you with one eye, and she stands to her feet and says via your mind link, she says, "I am not injured gravely. Who are you that you ride in a vessel of the elves and fly the flag of our people?"
It's a bit of a long story. We stole the ship from the people that are attacking you, I think. So we're hunting them down. They're super bad. We really don't like them. That flag is magical. It shows that we have peaceful intentions, usually. And you're lucky that you found us.
She kind of nods. She turns to the other one who had like squawked before with like a questioning expression, and he lifts one of his hands and he holds up like 3 fingers like this on one of his hands, and then as he does this, you see he goes. And she turns back to you and via your mind link, and she goes, "We shall see whose side you are on. Prepare yourselves, there is trouble." And as she says that, and he like that one like puts down his last finger.
Incoming!
What you guys failed to perceive before when you were getting on the boat is from the water. There are several splashes as figures like propel out of the water and come up onto the deck of the ship. Like behind where these bird people are standing.
I toss Rowan Chikai and take out.
You recognize a group of 6 Sahajin.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
No.
Oh no! Wait!
Oh, no.
Roll initiative.
Okay,
Oh no!
or like really, because I'm down there with the injured leader.
Oh no!
I'm going to grab Shikai as she throws it with my other hand, helping the leader up. I just want to dump 5 healing, lay on hands,
Sure.
to further stabilize and get up in battle a bit more, as I'm helping them to their feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn,
no.
I don't have time to
definitely do
feed
that.
them another biscuit, so this is what we're doing.
You absolutely can do that. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Actually, Chrissy, I don't know if you have this set up. Do you have a mid-roll thing you can cut to?
Yeah, we could take a quick break.
As you guys roll initiative, let's take a quick break and then
All
we'll
right.
be back.
BRB, fam.
Welcome back.
Oh, okay. All right, we're back. We're back just in time for fighting.
Who's that Pokemon? Oh wait.
It's Angry Fish People.
Oh no!
Initiatives. What you got?
Oh shit.
21. I rolled a nat 20. Wasted.
8.
Dirty 20.
11.
Dykes has got a 9.
9.
Oh wait, no, I also had an 8.
Yeah. Alrighty. Then in that case, there are 5 Sahajin on the deck of the ship. Actually, I think. As they are like propelled out of the water onto the deck of the ship, you guys see over the railing in the water, there are at least you see the propelling device of these Sahajin was the backs of massive sharks. There are at least 4 giant sharks in the water, which, as you see, like they sort of like dive down, and you see the sort of like fins go out and loop around and begin to like come back, heading towards the ship. As this kind of takes place, Apora Dazan like sees this as well. And immediately turns their attention to the crew and calls out, "Man the weaponry, repel the beasts. Let the captain and the others deal with the boarders." And with that, your crew turns and rushes to the sides. Harpoons and spears begin to get passed around. So for the combat as it progresses here, you guys can, if you want to, engage with these sharks. But essentially, your crew will handle the sharks attacking the vessel from the water, as you guys deal with the combat on the deck. And essentially, I'm going to do kind of a roll off each round between your crew and the sharks to see how the battle is going for them. And so they sort of peel off and begin to do that. Sela, you are going to be the first to react in the official round of combat here.
Yeah, and I don't want to kill anybody, but all of my cool shit is super killing, so I'm gonna do something kind of mid, and I would like to take my moon sickle, and if I may, the nearest Sahag. Well, actually, okay, hold on. How many Sahagins could I get into a 10-foot or a 15-foot radius cylinder? How
you
many
would
of them
end
could I
up
get?
you could get all of them, but you would end up hitting most of the Aarakocra as well. You're in very close quarters on the deck of the ship at this point.
How many Aarakocras are there?
5 total. 4 the 4 defenders and their leader who you healed.
Will I get my friends in it too?
No.
Okay, that's great. So I'm gonna cast Freedom of the Waves. So I conjure a deluge of seawater in a 15-foot radius, 10-foot tall cylinder, and I'm just going to center it on the point where I can get as many of them as possible. I can also choose a number of creatures equal to my spellcasting ability modifier, which is 5, to automatically succeed on the saving throw associated with, so I choose all of the Aarakocra. So the water takes a form of my choice, and each creature in the area has to succeed on a strength saving throw of a DC 18, or they will take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and fall prone.
Very cool. Okay.
Actually, can I step into the spell's area? Also, as
sure.
I step into the area, there's a reason for it. So,
yeah.
basically, like, all of the water that's dripping off of the Sahajins, like, forms up into, like, I don't know if there's, like, some kind of, like, gazelle or, like, elk from, Honorand, but they, like, take the shapes of those and just, like, charge into all of the Sahajins.
Right. So if you're stepping into the spell's effect, you will have to
I'm
make your
not
save as well,
impacted
right?
I'm not, because
You're
like,
not.
I
Okay,
can
perfect.
also do something for being in part of, I get to do something
Okay,
else.
cool. Alrighty, then let me start rolling for some Sahajin here.
Let me roll 2d8.
Strengths. Okay, that's a 16, so that's a fail. That's a 10, so that's a fail. That is a... That's a 19, so that's a success. That's only a 15, and a 22. So 2 of these Sahajin are resisted, and 3 are knocked prone by this spell. Is this like this water sort of like splashes over the deck as these Sahajin jump up, and then immediately like rises back up in the form of these like nimble like I kind of what the hell are the name of those? They're like those little jumping deer. You know what I'm talking about? They have
like an ibex.
Yeah, they
Oh,
turn into like these little like ibex looking things.
Ibex have like the big huge horns, and they're like a desert gazelle kind of thing. And I feel like because I'm also saving
no,
the
ibex is not what I'm looking at.
They're
There's something else I'm thinking of that is like a little like jumping deer that have these little like pronged horns. They turn into these like sort of small. They essentially
a springbok.
They're like they turn into like a series of these, which then just begin like pew 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 like.
But they like jump over the Aarakocra. Like if they're like in the path, they jump over them.
So they like leap over these Aarakocra and then just like these like springing headbutts and like begin to like slam into the Sahajin who like knocked back and fall down. With a series of sort of like fishy gurgles as they're struck.
Yeah, so there's no like half condition. It's either you take damage and you fall prone or you don't. So the 3 that failed take 12 bludgeoning damage and they fall prone. And then the other ones are fine. And if I'm within the spell's area, as part of the action I use to cast the spell, I can vanish into the deluge and teleport to an unoccupied space that I can see within the spell's area.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just go across to like the other side of the ship so that like I'm near some of the other Sahajins, so that way like I'm on those guys and all the other ones like my friends are near.
So basically the way that this
is
so the way that this is laid out, like right, the front of your ship is kind of this shaped, right?
Yeah.
So like if this is the prow of your ship, the Aarakocra are like here. You guys were all kind of here, the rest of your crew being back here. Sahajin all jumped up like here. So basically what happens is like this like spray of water comes up, it like rises back up into all these little like jumping deer. And then like Sela takes like 2 steps forward and this like the like little mermaid splash of like water goes out and all these like little creatures come like jumping out of it. And meanwhile Sela just like vanishes in like a vortex of water as these things leap over the Aarakocra, slam into the Sahajin, creating like another spray of water behind them, which then coalesces back into Sela, who just like appears behind them all. So now Sela, you now have the Sahajin and the Aarakocra between you and the rest of your party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is totally fine. And that's my turn. I'm not going to use a bonus action.
Nimue, that brings us to you. So you have 3 Sahajin who have been knocked to the ground, and Sela has teleported behind them.
All right, I'm going to stabby. Yeah, let's go. Well, let's just keep knocking them down. I'll go for the ones that are prone because I think I get advantage if they're prone.
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm going to be aiming for non-lethal blows, so I'm going for, like, arms, legs, like, pinning them to the deck so they can't get up.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll to hit. So you can pick, of your options of knocked down ones, there are 2 kind of, like, standard issue Sahajin.
Okay.
And then there is like a buffer one.
I want to go for the
that has been
buff
knocked
boy.
down. Okay.
Buff boy. First one is a 17 plus 8 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
Uh, 10 damage on the first one.
Okay.
He's still squirming.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh no. Nat 20, but I don't want to kill him.
Full damage.
Oh fuck. Okay. 15 damage on that one.
Alrighty. Okay. He's not killed.
But he's still awake?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do a slide burst to try and knock him out.
All right. Roll
Try and get
I guess to roll nothing. Just add your psychic damage.
Yeah, I think that's a D8 also. That's an extra 3 points
Okay.
of psychic.
All right. So you basically come in and you like sort of like slash a quadricep. You like jab down into like a forearm, and then the follow up. You sort of like the naginata comes out, and I like pulse of psychic energy just sort of like as you like pull the blade out on this Hodge and goes as it comes out and like lifts up in like pain. The psychic blast like slams him back into the deck. Still conscious, bleeding, bloodied, I would say.
Cool, that's my turn.
And looks pissed. Okay, that is going to bring us to the Aarakocra. The two who had been like already turned around defending, they're just immediately going to take two attacks with their like long javelin spears that they have. So they're going to make a pair of attack rolls. They'll attack the other two that are prone that Nimue is not currently attacking. It's a 15 and a less than a 15. So a 15, and on the other one, a 18 and a 23. Okay, so 2 hits. No crits. So they're going to deal 8 points of slashing damage, respectively, to these other two less buff knocked down ones, or rather 4 and 4, I should say, not 8 respectively. 8 total. Okay, so that deals with some of those. Those two are also not slain, but are definitely not looking to be in the best of shape as they kind of like thrash around in the ground. Their fish-like tails sort of like beat into the deck as they struggle to get their footing. The other two who had been like facing you take off into the air, and they both are going to swing like around the out over the water. And they're going to take their spears and they will throw from range, or their javelins rather, against the one who has. There's two who haven't done anything. The one sort of in the middle, the biggest of these creatures, they're going to throw their spears at that one. It's going to be a pair of clean misses. So they huck their spears. This one in the center, who resisted Sela's spell. Sela, you're kind of like directly behind this one. He sort of like turns to look at you as these two Aarakocra like fly off to the side and throw spears in. As they do, he like turns quickly and he brings out this massive like wavy sword, one of a very similar make that you have seen before when you fought these guys previously. And as like the two javelins come in, the first one he like knocks down with his sword, and then he like spins to face you, Sela, directly. And as he spins, he like whaps the other spear out of the air with his tail as he spins around.
Wait, so the bird people threw spears at the Sahajins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, ignore me.
Hodgins are the problem. The bird people are part of the island, I think.
I thought they were pals. I thought they were buddies.
No, they are definitely not pals. You immediately get the impression.
Is that all the air cover?
No, there's one more. The leader, the main one. That one is going to turn, and she like brings her hands forward like this, and lets out an incantation in a language that is mostly like screeches and clicks. And she actually casts a spell. And you watch as a series of like arcane darts, these essentially magic missiles, come firing out of her like outstretched taloned hands. She casts this at a 3rd level, which means she is going to shoot 3, 4, 5 darts, dealing maximum damage. $30 points of damage total. Is that right? 4 times 5 plus 5.
20.
Yeah.
4 times 5 is 20. Right?
4 times 5 is 20, plus 5 is 25.
Mm-hmm. It's 5 times 5 is 25.
Oh, I went 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. 4 times 5 is 20. I did my multiplication in the wrong direction. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 5 is 25. So she deals 25 points of damage to that big boy by just firing a bunch of magic missiles into his back. That is her turn. That is all the Sahajin. That is going to bring us to Rowan.
So there's 3 on the ground that Nimue and 2 the Aarakocra have swung at, and then there's 2 standing. One's the big boy, like the biggest boy of them all, and then
one is the big, one is a big boy, and one is the biggest boy.
I'm going to stab at the biggest boy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
I think eventually I'd remember what my things do. 24 to hit.
24 hits.
2. 13 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And I'm doing it again because I have 2 hits. That is 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That's 12 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And really quick, because I want to be a pain. I know I'm gonna save it.
Okay.
Saving it for Ignians later.
Alrighty, you rush forward and you take 2 slashes. He kind of like turns to as you sort of like weave through these Aarakocra to sort of come towards him, but he's not able to fully like deflect. He does have a shield which he sort of like brings up, but you kind of slip past it and you slash into him twice.
Is my animated shield an action or a bonus action to activate?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It just says
you should be
the
on
shield.
there.
You can speak its command. Oh, it's bonus action. Okay.
I'll
I'll just say protect and have that spring to life between.
Okay, so you protect and you just let it go and it begins to like hover near you.
Hands.
Yep, cool. Alrighty. That brings us then to Murderbeard and Thyxus. What are you guys doing?
So
It's up
have
to you,
we
Cap.
we decided who we're okay with killing or not?
The bird people are good, the fish people are bad.
Okay, so we're okay with killing fish people.
Yeah, because the bird people started fighting the fish people.
Okay. What? Who's the closest fish
If
person?
you'd like, since we're on the same initiative, if you'd like me to go first, mine could potentially give you a benefit.
Okay. I don't like the word potentially there.
It's always potentially with me. You should know this by now,
Or
Cap.
he'll lose another foot of height, and he'll be even shorter.
So Thyxus will find a place close by to hide.
Okay.
Because that's what
That's
Thyxus
it.
does. So if there's like some crates or wooden
Yeah,
barrels
easy
or
enough to
something,
do.
I'll just run
You
there.
just like take
duck
you take a
behind.
step behind the mast and you just like,
Yes,
like
that's it. I like it. Pull out the orb, and as it starts to glow with green energy, you see a shark kind of float up out of it and circle kind of like a whirlwind, so to speak. And as it does, it begins to change into a much larger shark, into like one of those whale sharks that swims really slow.
Okay.
Really slow. And I'm going to try to get all... would you say all these Sahajin are within 40 feet of each other,
They're pretty
right?
clustered up. Yeah. They're all like within like a
So,
15-foot little
It
chunk.
says that I can pick up to 6 of them, so I'm going to pick all of them. And they
Okay.
all need to succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 16 or higher, or be slowed.
Slowed. Very cool. Okay.
Nice. I like that. I like the whale shark.
Wisdom +1
The laziest
0
shark of the sea.
+1. Okay. So fail. 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 They all fail.
And I do not wild search.
Oh my god. Oh my god,
These-
you got it unlocked.
Like the Sahajin immediately like Thyxus like steps kind of like leans around with this orb, and this like pulse of magic comes forward shaped like a whale shark. It's like that big manta ray from Moana. It just sweeps across the deck, and all of the Sahajin immediately are like
So they suffer.
moving
They
in
suffer.
slow motion.
They suffer -2 to their armor class.
Okay.
They have and a -2 on all their dexterity saving throws, and they can't use reactions. And on their turn, they can either use an action or a bonus action, not both.
Right. Okay.
And I believe it halves their movement as well. Yeah, movement speed is halved.
Cool. Alrighty. Then, very good. Anything else you want to do?
That'll do it.
Alrighty, Murderbeard, that brings us to you. You now have a bunch of, like, slow motion target Sahajin. So you have 3 of them that are still on the ground, as it has not been their turn yet to get up. So if you're going to do something ranged, you would have disadvantage on those ones. Then you have the biggest boy, who Rowan is currently fighting, who has taken some damage. And then you have one of the big boys who nobody has done anything to yet.
Oh, Murderbeard, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Almost literally.
Almost literally.
So the big boy that nobody has done anything to, he is like slow-mo.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is he from me?
Not more than 35 feet, 35 feet.
I will move within 10 feet of him,
No problem.
and I'm gonna look him dead in the eye.
It takes a little longer, because as you get up, he's like...
I sidestep to look him dead in the eye.
You take one little step over to, like, meet his eyes. He's like... turning towards you.
And I go, I'm gonna try something new. And then Murderbeard, like, flexes his whole body, and then, like, the center of his beard, like, morphs together and, like, whips this dude.
Okay, roll to hit.
Oh, yes.
Wait, is this the beard scarf? Or is this... What
This is my tentacle of the deep, reflavored as beard.
Wow.
Ah, the beard of the deep.
Roll to
yes.
Okay, I don't know. Do I add anything? Oh, it's +6 to hit. Okay. That's a 16 to hit.
16 will hit. Roll damage.
Okay, so he's gonna take 8 points of cold damage,
Okay.
and his speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
All right. So
Not that he's going far.
He's even slower. So yeah, you step up and you like, and your beard just goes like, whams into this guy.
It's like it becomes a giant whip. That's what I imagine.
In my mind, before it coalesces quite into like the single like tentacle whip, it does go like a Medusa, just like everywhere, and it goes and slams into him. And he is like it hits him, so he's like falling backwards in slow motion as he's hit. Alrighty. That is going to bring us to the Sahajin, who rolled terribly on their initiative. So Sahajins, normal boy Sahajins are going to use half of their movement to stand up, which leaves them with a quarter of their movement because they're already slowed. As is big boy Sahajins. Now all the Sahajin are back on their feet. I think I know the answer to this, but let me fact check it against you guys. When a creature has multi-attack, that just is like it is an action to use their multi-attack, correct?
Actually,
Yes.
under slowed, they can only do one attack.
One. Okay, that's what I was looking
We've
for.
done this at Storm King's Thunder before. That's
Oh,
right.
I had a bonus action that I didn't know about. Okay, next time.
Next time.
It's a
okay,
bonus
then-
action to do the tentacle.
I can use it twice, I think.
Yeah, it's a bonus action, and then you make a melee spell attack to do it.
Yeah.
It says down here, Matt, regardless
And
of
then
the
as a
creature's
bonus
abilities,
action, I can move it and attack again.
Yeah, but that's separate because it's a bonus action to summon it.
on the slowed, regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't take more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Perfect. Okay.
Slowed is such a good spell when it's not on us.
Very good.
It's so good. That's such a...
Okay, so
OP,
the
love it.
the biggest boy with his beefy sword is going to. He's already facing in that direction. He never managed quite to turn around, and now with his slowed condition, he's not going to bother. So he's just going to attack Sela because he's already facing her. So he's going to roll the hit with his sword, if I can figure out where his dam there is. That's a 25 to hit.
Nope. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, he's gonna get 14 points of slashing damage to you, Sela.
Nice.
And that's all he can do. Because it's slowed, he is not able to do anything else. That is his turn. The two bigger boys are going to attack Nimue. She was stabbing
Rude.
one of them. So they're going to attack Nimue with one attack apiece, because that's all they're able to do. They have sort of forked spears that they're using. So they're going to stab at you with those. That is a clean miss and another clean miss. Two very low rolls. Okay, so they sort of but in their slowed state, you easily just sort of dodge around them. No issue at all. And then the final two standard Sahajin, they're going to attack the two Arakakra that are on the deck still fighting them. They're going to roll one attack apiece. It's with their spears. That's a... I don't think that's going to hit. No. 8 misses, and... 8 misses and 11 misses. So the Arakocra are definitely like dodge out of the way, and are not struck by either of these Sahajin. That's all, folks. The Sahajin, well, one of them manages to hit Sela, but everyone else, all of the other ones, get thoroughly thwarted by this slow spell. Quick check in with the crew. Oh, the crew nat 20 their roll this round. And the sharks get a 6. So you hear the sound.
Nothing less.
You hear the sound of some sharks getting like soundly beat up on by your crew. Who like the ship definitely does like rock a couple of times as like you like feel the sharks come like ram into it. So the ship is going to is taking a little bit of damage during this process. But like every time there is like a crunch of a shark hitting, it is immediately followed up by like the shout of your crew and the noise of several like harpoons being like stabbed over the edge, like or like hucked in down into the water into sharks, causing damage to them. So these sharks have lost this round. Okay. That brings us to the top of the order with Sela.
So do you...
No, I'm fine.
Okay. I'm just gonna cast Primal Savagery on myself, and whoever just hurt me, his mom's a hoe, and I'm gonna hit him.
Okay, roll the hit.
Yeah.
How long does this slow condition last?
1 minute.
By 1 minute. Okay.
Do they have to save
Do they
on their
do they
turn?
repeat saves? Do they repeat saves when they get hit?
A creature affected by the spell makes another wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turns. On a successful save, the effect ends for it.
What was the mark?
16.
Okay, I think it's just a -1 and a +0 respectively. All right, so fail. They all fail again.
Wow.
None of them shake out of the effect of your slow this round. Anyway, Sela, so it's Primal Savagery. Go ahead and roll the hit.
I don't know if that's gonna hit. That's only a 14.
14 will not hit. You just like rake across his armored chest plate. Do not manage to damage him.
I really want to save these bonus actions for. They're too good to waste on this fish people. So I just there and that's my turn.
Okay. Alrighty, Nimue.
Alright, is the guy that I was stabbing before still up?
Yep.
I'm gonna stabby him again.
Alrighty,
Take him
roll to
down.
hit.
He's standing, right?
He is standing now.
Cool. I don't think that's going to hit either. That is a 13.
Not quite.
Okay.
Even with the reduction from slow,
Well-
it doesn't quite get him.
Hang on. I might be able to do... That's dex base. I'm gonna try and boost it. I'm gonna try and
Okay.
hit. I'm gonna try. Might be close enough if I roll high enough. 13 plus 6. 19.
Yes, 19 hits.
Hell yeah. Uh, 14 damage on the first hit.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I hit the second time.
And Nimue's currently fighting the biggest dude, right?
No, she's
No,
fighting
I'm
one of
trying-
the
one of the bigger
mid-tier
boys.
dudes.
Yeah, mid big boy.
Mid big boy. Okay.
Da, 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 da. 13 plus 8 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Nine damage.
Alrighty. Still on his feet, this one.
Whoa, this bitch! I got an accent surge. Fuck this guy. Go down. 1, 2. Does a 15 hit? No, 9. 17 hit.
This does.
7. 14 damage.
That is finally enough to put him in the ground permanently.
Stay down.
You like, I think you like the Naginata comes around and you like stab it into his gut, like sure that like you finally like delivered the killing blow as he like is like impaled on it, and then as he like goes to like try and bring his blade up again, your action surge is essentially like to just go like son of a bitch and like just one more like just you push it the rest of the way in and you finally hear like a and the Sahajin like
stay down and
falls.
I have
falls dead to the ground.
one more attack, so I'm going to use the momentum and try and do the one next to him. Whoever's closest to this dude. I'll try and hit.
Okay, probably the other like his other buddy who attacked you last round.
Yeah.
The other medium big boy.
Give it to the medium big boy. 11 plus 8, 19.
That hits.
13 damage. Nope. 15 damage.
Okay, 15 damage.
Need the math.
Alright. You put down one, pull your blade out, and swing it around, slash into the other, who is cut by your weapon. Gurgle hisses at you. Anything else? Any bonus actions or anything like that? Or you action surged?
I action surged. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then Arakakra. So the two on the deck are going to attack the two Sahajin again. Oh, one of them crits. One of them will miss. So on the crit, this one is going to deal 8 points of damage. And will kill one of the normal side, like the standard issue Sahajin. So one of these Arakakra gives this like and brings his like javelin up over his head and drives it down into like the top of this Sahajin's head, like and basically the tip of the javelin like sticks into the wood of the deck, and the Sahajin just sort of like slides down it, thumps onto the ground, dead. The other Arakakra misses. The two in the air are going to fly by. They're actually both going to fly in, and they're going to attempt to shove the one Nimue that you're fighting and knock him down. So they're going to make a... Okay, that one might be enough. Let me make a contested roll. Oh, God. Unfortunate. Okay, so one of the Arakakra like swoops in. The Sahajin sort of like swipes his spear trident, and the Arakakra like barrel rolls out of the way. The other one comes down and basically like throws a shoulder and slams into the Sahajin, trying to like knock him down. The Sahajin, however, like plants his feet wide and his tail like smacks into the ground, and he like braces himself with his tail, and ends up just like sort of like bear hugging the Arakakra, who just smacks into him and does not manage to knock him down. The leader, the one with the spell abilities here, is going to not use any of the roughly 100 area effect spells she has, and just cast Magic Missile again, I guess. So another 5 Magic Missiles at, she'll shoot at the one that her companion just tried to tackle unsuccessfully. Another 3rd level Magic Missile. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 20 points of damage total. Where's my here?
You go, girl.
So again, like, and then like these magic missiles like pepper into this Sahajin. Still upright and fighting, and is kind of like not officially grappled, but is like kind of grappling with this other Arakakra that tried to tackle him. That is their turn. That brings us to Rowan.
Stabby stabby on the big boy with his back to me, because he's
Alrighty.
fighting Seal.
Roll to hit.
18 to hit,
18 does not hit.
even with the -2 from slow.
Oh, with a -2 with slow, yes it does.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, how high was
Yes, it
this?
does.
Okay, I was like, hold on. I don't do that much damage with. That's only 5 points of damage on that one.
Okay.
That was a bad damage roll. That's 18 again to hit.
Okay, 2 hits.
That's better. That's 12 points of damage.
Alrighty. So he takes another 12.
That's my
Alright.
turn. I know he's can see he's slowed and he's facing Sela, but I'm kind of just doing anything I can to make him like pissed off.
Sure.
That's it.
Alrighty. Then Murderbeard and Thixus, you guys are up.
Go for it, Captain. You're muted.
I was muted. I was saying that dude's still in front of me, right? The one who got whipped last time?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 things. Well, I'm going to do 1 thing, and then if I need to do a second thing, I will.
Okay.
So I'm going to attack with my rapier.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
That's a 21 to hit.
That definitely hits, and you can sneak attack because he's engaged by Nimue.
Yep. So that's... $17 points of damage.
Alrighty.
He's still up.
He's still up. You sort of slash
Okay.
across, like open a deep wound in his abdomen with your rapier, but he is still up.
Then I am going to whip him with the beard again.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
That is 7 points of cold damage, and again his speed is...
You have to actually hit him with it, right?
Oh yes, I do. 17.
17 hits.
Plus
So then 7 points of cold damage.
Yes.
Okay.
He's even slower.
He's even slower. He's beginning to look like a popsicle, as like frost is forming on his like catfishy tentacles. He's still up, but he's looking in very, very rough shape.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
Thixus.
Thixus, so the one regular guy that was face off against one of the Aarakocra and Big Boy that Rowan's facing off against, would you say they're within 20 feet of each other?
Yeah.
Okay. So Thixus will peek out behind, still concentrating, keeping that slow-moving shark surrounding him. His eyes will glow green. All of a sudden, this ball of fire will emerge in the orb, and as it shoots out, Thixus will quickly reach out and grab it and pull it back within his hands. And while he's holding this fire, he splits it into 2 and then twin cast firebolt at both of those two.
Roll to hit.
Sahajin. Well, it was flashy, but I don't think it's going to work. That's a 13 on the first one.
Which one are you aiming that one at? Normal boy
Probably
or big boy?
probably normal boy, since I described it in that
So
order.
with a 13 on normal boy, you hit.
All right, that's going to do 12 points of fire damage.
Okay. Roll to hit on the second guy, real quick for me.
Ooh, that's even worse. That's only a 10.
That one will not hit. Okay.
All right.
So one does go wild, but the one that connects, you sort of like let this firebolt go. The Aarakocra that's kind of like shoulder to shoulder wrestling with this, because he has monocular vision. His eyes are on the side of his head. He sees it coming a little soon. He goes like, "Arr!" and like ducks down. But as he does, he sort of like one of his wings goes like, and sort of like bonks the Sahajin in the chin, sort of disorienting him. And your firebolt just like strikes him wide open in the chest and just. And he knocks, falls flat, splayed out, dead on the deck. He is slain.
Does the spell cause him to fall down in slow motion too?
Do you want it to? I guess is the question. He's like the Arakakra like gets back up, sort of like dusts himself off. The Sahajin is still only like 3/4 of the way down. The Arakakra just like pushes him the rest of the way to the ground with his spear. Okay. Then it'll be the Sahajin's turn, the 2 remaining Sahajin. The big boy is going to like kind of like turns his head and barks out something in their language. Gives this sort of like and the other one like nods and switches his like hand positioning on his spear as he's like kind of embattled with Murderbeard and Nimue. And like as you guys are like in between him, he just like splits the uprights and just brings back his spear and hucks it at Phyxis. So he's gonna make a ranged attack with his spear against you, Phyxis. I'm gonna give you partial cover since you're like hiding behind stuff.
Mast will protect me.
I would also.
Yeah.
Actions are about to be met with international outrage.
So we'll
If this
call that
hits-
half cover. So you add a +5 to your AC.
If this hits,
Oh, I'll
I
take
will
it.
also use my reaction to help maintain concentration.
I don't know that it's gonna hit. He didn't roll that well. A 16 to hit.
That will hit the mast.
Okay. Yeah, the spear. Like you, Murderbeard and Nimue, you guys hear it like fucking whistle past your ear, and it like sticks into the mast of the ship as Phyxis is like behind it.
Yeah, my face is me.
Alrighty, that is his turn. That's all he can do because he's now disarmed. The big boy is going to doesn't really have much. He's kind of limited on what he can do here because he's
can
slowed and
blink.
in the middle of anybody. He blinks and that takes his whole turn. I think he's gonna he really doesn't have much of a choice here. He's just gonna attack Sela again with one slash. It's an 18 hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Another. Uh, 16 points of slashing damage.
Nice. Ow!
And then I think he is able. He's not able to. He's not able to take like reactions and more than one attack, but he can still make an attack action and take a move action, right?
Slowly.
He can use his movement, but it's halved, isn't
It's
it?
half of it. Well, he doesn't have to go very far because all he's going to do. So, Celia, you will get an attack of opportunity as he's going to take just a 5-foot step, away from you after like slashing you. So you can go ahead and roll that if you want, as he like takes a step back from you.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to bonk him regular style because...
So you have to bonk him regular style.
Yeah, Primal Savagery doesn't last. Unarmed Strike. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
That does hit.
He takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage. As
Sort of like
I...
punch him in the back of the head as he turns away. He goes,
Yeah.
ignores it.
Am I allowed to hit him too because he's moving out of my space? Because I was right behind him as well.
He's not moving out of your space. He's essentially moving closer to you.
Okay. Dang it. Okay.
because Sela was on the opposite side of him, and you guys were kind of coming from the other way. He steps away from her. He's coming closer to the rest of you. So he kind of diagonals your area, but he doesn't leave it. But who he does step up to is the Aarakocra leader. Steps right up to them and brings his blade up. He can't attack or do anything else with his turn, but he kind of slowly sort of raises his blade towards them.
Those the ones that are remaining can also repeat their saving throw at the end of their turn, Matt.
Yes, I will roll for his other buddy first. Oh, his other buddy finally succeeds. Oh, and so does he. Okay, so they both shake off the slow. Unfortunately, took him a while, but they got there. So they both so as that happens, and the spell kind of shakes off the blade, which was that now goes and just snaps to the neck of the Aarakocra. That is going to be their turn. Let me, real quick, before we go to the top of the round, let me roll for sharks and pirates. Pirates do not do a great job this turn. Oh, and the sharks turn around and do a crit. Okay, so as you guys are in this battle, you kind of hear the battle of between your crew and these sharks going on. You hear Apora is shouting directions. As this is happening, one of these sharks leaps up and basically throws its entire weight sideways into the ship, and the whole ship goes so you guys are kind of unfooted a little bit. The ship takes some damage. Several of your crew fall prone. They continue to do a little bit of damage to it. They actually manage. Your crew managed to kill one of the 4 giant sharks. There are still 3 remaining attacking the ship. But you hear from below, as this strike goes, you hear Anna Cromwell's voice yells from below "We're taking on water!" That is the sharks and the pirates. That'll bring us to the top of the order with you guys.
Is it my turn?
Get him.
Yep, Sela, you're top of the order.
Listen, I still really don't want to use all my. I'm saving all my cool shit because I'm not a short rest gal. I need a nap after, a good nap after all of this. So, the one that's on the bird lady, who departed from my area. I'm just going right back up to him.
Yeah, you just have to step forward, and you're still in range.
Yeah, I'm just gonna primal savagery him, and I'm hoping it's gonna friggin' hit this time. Plus 10? Plus 10? That's 27 to hit?
It's definitely hits.
Okay. Plus 10?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? How? That doesn't seem right.
That seemed kind of high.
Yeah, because it's my spell attack modifier, which is plus 10, because I have a 5 to wisdom.
Okay, then it's plus 10.
Either way, I rolled a natural 17, so I think it was going to hit whether or not...
You definitely hit, yeah.
I also rolled almost max damage. I rolled a 9 and an 8, so that's 17 points of... I think this is acid damage. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just, this guy just walked away from me, so I just lunge at him, and I just, bite him, right on the shoulder meat.
Okay.
With big fangs!
Alrighty. You chomp into him, he goes as he is bit. But he is still kind of on his feet as you, come away with a chunk of fish meat in your mouth. Alright.
Sushi. It's sashimi.
Nah. Need some soy sauce.
Okay. Nimue, that brings us to you. So there's 2 left. There's the one that you have been fighting is still in front of you.
All right.
And then the other one that is now threatening the leader of the Aarakocra that Nimue is Sela is gnawing on from behind.
Does flanking rules apply? I can't remember. I feel like I've asked this before.
Yes, I have generally used the flanking house rule that if you're flanking with somebody, you get advantage.
I will move to flank for Murderbeard. I know he already gets sneak attack, but I want to flank for him. Hit the mid big boy.
Okay,
first.
no problem. Roll to hit.
Oh yeah, that's a natural 19. I'm gonna do a psychonic thrust. So I'm
Okay.
gonna need him to do a strength saving throw. It's really low, DC 13. I'm gonna
We
try.
rolled a 3, so.
Oh well, he's prone.
Okay, well, how much damage do you do?
Okay, so base damage is 12, and then he also takes an additional. God damn, it's so close to exploding, but it's not enough. An additional 7 force damage
Okay.
because I'm thrusting, not
All
doing
right,
with
you,
the
you
psychic.
thrust, you like, "Ugh," and put him down prone, where he will stay forever,
Cool.
because he's dead.
Ah shit!
So he's
Sorry,
he's not
Murderbeard.
gonna get back up.
All right, well I turn around and go for the big boy, the
All right,
biggest
roll.
boy,
Roll to hit on the biggest boy.
and I'm flanking Kazila. Because she's behind him, biting into his meat, and I'm in front of him trying to stabby stab?
You're to his side because in
Yeah, the
front of
bird
him
is
is the
in front of
Eric is
him.
the bird.
Oh, okay, then I won't flank. She's flanking, right?
Yes, sort
Okay.
of.
As long as someone has advantage on him. Alright, it's 14 plus 8, so 22 to hit.
2 hits. Roll damage.
Cool. Base is 9, and I will also do a psychic, not force, psychic. Plus 5.
It was 9 plus 5, you said?
Yep.
Alrighty.
That is my turn.
That is your turn, and that is the turn, as that is just enough. He has this blade to this Eric Cocker's neck. Sela, he's like distracted as Sela just like rips a hunk out of his like shoulder neck meat, and he doesn't even see it coming when the Naginata just like into the side of his head, and he
Good night.
collapses dead to the ground. As that happens, there is another like slam against the boat as the sharks continue to attack. However, make a perception check.
28,
damn.
natural 20.
15.
Natural
Jesus
20, what is
Christ.
happening tonight?
Natural 20, 21.
Six.
Wow.
6.
I got a 15. So.
6.
6.
We're
So
jumping
everybody but Murderbeard. Murderbeard, you got like
Oh,
fish
shit, my
juice in
shoe's
your eye
untied.
at one point. Yeah, you gotta lace up your boot. You guys see as like the last of these Sahajin drops, and these sharks like continue to assault the ship. You guys see from below decks, a form comes like sprinting up the stairs.
Oh my god, is it here?
It is Kiri's
Oh no.
She comes like running up the steps as you're like
That's not what it
your
looks
guys
like.
are like harpooning these sharks. She like looks at the dead bodies of the Sahajin on the deck, like kind of like surveys the situation. She goes, except Murderbeard, all of your perception checks were so high that I think you're able to read the facial expression, which is in whatever configuration it would look like on like a fish person face. She goes, and
Oh my god, she's such a teen.
runs over to the side where like one of your crew members is like currently trying to harpoon a shark off the boat that is like onto the like planks. Just like grabs him by the shoulder, like grabs a handful of like shirt, and just goes, and he like falls back onto the ground, and she steps up onto like the railing of the ship, and like surveys, turns and looks at the group of you, and then jumps into the water.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, that's valid. I feel like Nimue waves her off. Was like, yeah, you valid. Bye.
And the
Well,
sharks eat her. No.
No, she commands.
If she
them.
didn't, I was going to cast Thaumaturgy to a little bit of a gust of wind. Just,
Push her off. Here. Let the door hit you on the way out. Let's go.
So you guys like, oh, I guess she's leaving. And she hits the water, and a few moments later, the sharks stop attacking the boat.
Oh.
Can I go over to the railing and look down and see what's going on?
I feel like she's commanding them like to swim around us and be nice or something.
I want to go see what's going on. I'm
At
looking
the
over the
very least,
railing.
she probably knows she can't win this fight.
Yeah, that too.
You make a perception check.
I was gonna go over there and tell those sharks to stop. I was gonna just talk to them and be like, stop it!
A 16.
With the 16, Rowan, you like rush over, and you can just see beneath like the waves of the water. Kiryizgra is like maybe 4 or 5 feet below the water. She has like folded her legs under her, and kind of has her like hands out to her sides like this. And you see that like her eyes are illuminated with this like vague glow. And the sharks, the 3 living sharks, the ones that are still alive, are like kind of like 1, 2, 3, just like arrayed, sort of like floating in front of her, just like completely docile, doing nothing. After a few moments, the 3 sharks, like 1, 2, 3, just swim off. And she comes back to the surface, and like looks up. Rowan, she sees you. She just sort of like turns, and she goes over to like the ladder on the side of it and begins to like climb back up onto the deck.
She really is a teen. She's just here for our food and like bed.
Yeah, she's like, I'm too comfortable to leave.
Yeah.
I just shrug and
Free
I go
Wi-Fi?
stand
I'm not leaving.
The Kiryizgra climbs back onto the deck. The Arakakra, who now all have like reconvened and are sort of clustered on the deck, like see her climb back on and like
Don't touch
they get like
her.
spirituality again.
I
Like they don't know.
no.
They sort of like they like defend up like, oh shit, there's more.
No, this one's with us. I mentally tell the leader. It's a long story.
She's very confused. She's, I will trust you for now.
Yeah,
but
valid.
I wish I will need an explanation.
Yeah.
So Kiryizgra is just like looking.
It's simple. She wants to kill us.
Kiryizgra
adopted
looks
her.
at these these Arakakra and kind of like disregards them, and she's gonna kind of like walk around them and go over, and she starts sort of like picking at the bodies of the other Sahajin. Not particularly like gently. She like comes over, she like kicks one of them to roll him over. She's just sort of like checking them out.
She's like looting them? Or just like, she's trying to see what clan they're from or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably a safe assessment. It doesn't look like she's not like taking anything off their bodies. She's just like she's looking. Yeah, you kind of get the sense she's looking for like markings or examining them or whatever. She's also like examining their wounds and stuff, getting the sort of sense of like
She's gonna have to defeat us
how
later.
how y'all took her out. Yeah, like you definitely get the vibe that she's like studying your battle techniques to add to her compendium. But other than that, she kind of disregards all of you guys and goes about that.
So proud if she's the big bad guy at the end of this campaign. I'll be so proud of her.
The Arakakra are like now still huddled up. They're like watching this like adolescent Sahajin just like not respect the corpses of her other brethren apparently, and then you guys are like a bunch of rowdy mismatched pirates on the other side, and they're just in the middle with their like spears. Like they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Valid.
I'm gonna walk over to Sela and just put my hand on her.
I'm fine, I have the cheddar bacon biscuit.
That's for when I can't get to you. That's for like the middle of the problem.
No, you should save it.
I'm not gonna give you all of it. I'm just gonna give her 15 lay on hands.
Okay.
Thanks.
That still gives me plenty to keep myself running if I have to.
Thank you.
And I still have my own cheddar bay biscuits, so we're good.
Same.
I
We all have
have
some,
no healing spells for this day.
Oh, dear God.
I am here to kill only.
That's valid, Sela. That's valid.
And I forgot
Rowan's
to
whole
say
game
that I
plan
was
just
making.
changed.
I
Rowan's
forgot
whole
to
game
say-
plan just completely changed.
I forgot to say that I was making potions, and the whole time we've been on the ship for the last several weeks, so I have no potions other than my cheddar bacon biscuits.
Oh no!
Oh, God. Okay. New plan. No one get too far away from me. I can't run that fast.
Can I ask the leader if she's seen any of the Ignians farther in? Like, describe what their sigil looks like.
Yeah, so you kind of asked, like, have you seen the Ignians? And the leader of the Aarakocra says, "Of course we have. They come to the home of our collaborative tribes and they are assaulting our sacred island. They, as we speak, sail for our shores, assault our homes, and try to lay claim to Uratola."
Were these guys with the Ignians?
She gestures at she's like, them. No. The blood scale lurk these waters, causing trouble for all the tribes who live here. They are merely opportunists.
I tell the party. I'll just basic default from here to the end of the game. She's translating.
Ura, what now?
Yeah, can I get a spelling on the
How do you
Ura.
like Ura?
She said that they are attempting to like breach something called Uralota.
Yeah, and Silla's
Uralota.
question is, what can they elaborate on that?
What's Uralota?
Would that be a term that Thixus had stumbled upon in any of the reading of
Ooh.
things, or?
No, probably not.
Got it.
As you guys kind of like start to like throw questions at them, the Aarakocra leader says, "Before I continue to answer questions, I need to know who you people are and what you're doing here. You, as I said before, you are in a vessel like these elves, yet you fly a magical flag and you are not with them. Who are you and what are you doing here?"
So we are the Grimm's Folly. We were previously slaves, kind of saved ourselves, stole their ship as retribution, have been hunting them ever since because they came to my island and they've been stealing my people and doing crazy, magical, convoluted experiments on them. So we're on the hunt.
The
This is our
Aarakocra
captain.
takes this in. She says, "I am Israk. I am the leader of the Bright Feather Aarakocra tribe. We make our homes." She points to those like high plateaus that you saw with those like openings. We make our home there in the rocks. We are one of several tribes that call these islands our home. If what you say is true of your intentions, then it seems we may have an allied purpose. You wish to stop the Ignians, and it is our desire that they not desecrate the sacred island.
They've already desecrated our sacred island, so I can completely relate to that.
She says, then you kind of like looks. She says, "You have this smaller ship here, or the big one will do, but perhaps you can sail with us back to our home and convene with our people that we might establish a plan of resistance against these elven invaders."
Through Nimue, I'll ask the question, how many days till they can reach the sacred island?
She says, "The defenders of Uralota are the most accomplished warriors of all of the tribes that live here in the atoll. The defenders hold fast. It is part of the reason the Ignians have taken to harassing surrounding villages."
Will we get
So
to
then-
rest before we get to them? Like, will we get a night or?
Or like, are they already harrying the
Or are they almost
defenders?
there?
Of
They're already
Urulota?
They are already
Yeah,
harrying these defenders of
yeah.
Urulota.
They're already there.
Question for the group, and if Nimue translates,
I will.
that's fine.
Yeah.
How many? You said there's 4 of them. There's
5 of them.
5 of them, and there's 5 of us. They can fly, but like, is the injured one able to fly? And can they fly fast?
She probably can. Are they trying to carry you?
No.
No. I'm gonna cast
Oh.
Windwalk on all 10 of us and get our asses over there as fast as possible. If that saves them any
Because that goes
exhaustion
faster than
from
their
flying.
fly
If that's
speed.
faster than their fly speed.
It's
they
300
can
feet.
Fly.
It's 300 feet.
It's 300 feet.
I'm
Is
sure
there-
yes, I'm sure that would be faster. Yeah,
will-
what the
What's that?
yeah, the Arakok are like, are kind of game to that or whatever. They basically, she basically tells you, she says, if you return with us to the village, we can help you circumnavigate the blockade that they have established. You can help defend Urulota without having to fight your way through all of their ships. And she says, if you have magics that can help us reach the reach the peaks, then this is preferable.
It will get us there faster. And then I guess our ship can.
Follow behind us. They can get to the Arakoko city like behind us.
Do we want to bring anyone else? We want to bring what's his face? The
The orc guy literally will be so sad if he doesn't come.
Yeah, I have to bring
He,
bring
like-
Gugnok. I have to bring him.
He's gonna be bummed.
Nimue,
I don't think we can carry him though. One of them
Well-
would have to like fly slowly.
Nimue, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
What? Yeah.
You turn around and Kir Yizgra is staring at you.
I will mind link. Do you also want to come?
I have an alternative option.
Okay, I'm listening.
She points at the dead Sahajin. She says, there will be more of them. They likely have subaquatic tunnels beneath these islands. You can go with the bird people if you want, but the Sahajin of the region are also an option. They can be bent to your will.
I feel like we're on the
How?
precipice of I feel like this is her personal quest, and if we're in a game, we would unlock the next relationship level with her if we do it. But I'm also
Plus
If
friendship,
nobody's
plus
translating this out, my question is, how can we bend them to our will? They, I want to understand that explanation.
She points at the big one that you killed with the big fancy sword. She goes,
later.
because you have slain their champion, and I am a priestess.
Oh.
Don't you hate us?
Yeah, I seem to recall a moment in time where this one said that she was going to kill us all in her sleep. Was that the way that she said that, or was
Yeah.
it
It
just
says,
Yeah.
she's,
like,
this is
on the shoulder.
wait, this is only going to you because she's only able to speak.
I will.
She's only able to speak.
Hang on. I've been translating. It takes a minute, but
So
everyone gets.
here's what I want to here's what I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
You're translating to them,
Yeah.
but as they're talking in common of doesn't she want to kill us?
Yeah.
She responds to you via your mind link. She goes, I will still kill all of you someday.
Okay, just checking.
she's been studying.
But that
common.
time has not come yet. And this is an opportunity for strength. The Sahajin respect one thing, and it is domination by power.
Oh.
I have much to gain here, and if it helps you, so be it. And the thing that you kind of notice is that, you did not have to, when they were she's trying to kill us, right? You did
She
not have to
understood-
translate.
No, she understood.
She understood
She's been
them.
studying common.
She's been studying.
She's been on the ship long enough. She's picking it up a little.
She doesn't seem able to speak it.
But she can understand
but she can understand everybody that's. She also apparently understood the Arakakra because she knew what they had talked about like, you know, because you communicated with the
right,
Arakocra, like,
right.
but she knew what they talked about too, like when they conferred with each other.
Okay.
What?
She took the observant feat, the last level up she
I
had.
have the observant feat, and I don't understand what they're saying. Do we think if Nimue, can you ask the Arakocra if we were to go and bend the Sahaj into our will, and as part of that, would the Arakocra want them to leave the island? Like, are they a recurring problem for the people here?
Copy paste.
The Arakocra, like, seem kind of confused by the whole concept of, like, what they kind of take away from it is, like, no, like, do not deal with the Sahajin, like, they're bad. Like, we want you to come help us, but if you're gonna go, like, off and deal with Sahajin, like, we want nothing to do with you people.
Right.
Is like kind of the response that you get from them.
Matt just put us into the Mass Effect thing of
He
you have
did!
one
He just
choice,
gave us a
and
Mass
whichever one you
Effect
don't
choice!
pick,
That's right.
you can't.
You're gonna piss off the other group.
Question.
Hold on, I'm gonna save Scum. Hold on.
I have an idea.
Okay.
We can send Gugnok with Kier and the body with the Sahagin.
We're about to hack the game.
And we can go there.
We sent a strike
Grimm.
team!
And he can lead the fight from the tunnel.
He's loyal to me!
No, hold on. How is he going to communicate with them, though? Because he doesn't have psychic abilities.
He
That's literally the
doesn't.
only reason we're able to talk to either of these parties is because of Nimue.
Question: does the sending ring translate between types? Because can't Nimue?
So is this just we're
I'm just
discussing here? But the question that Victoria just posed, is that something that comes up in character as you guys discuss this plan?
I think so.
Because to that, Kier again, like, rolls her eyes and she goes like, I can handle it.
I'm just saying, like, we can't. I can only windwalk 10 of us.
Okay.
Gugnok wants to go. Kier wants to get involved. We can attack on 2 fronts this way.
Yeah. They won't see one of us coming at least.
If Seelick, I know you wanted to save spells. I don't know what you have, but if you could water breathe Gugnok, he can make it through the fight. Well, can't you just ritual cast?
Not if it's not prepared.
Oh.
I don't have it prepared.
Oh no.
Because I assumed that we
Hold your
long
breath,
rested. Yeah, I assumed that we long rested between the storm and this, and so I was like, I'm gonna change all of my spells in preparation for fighting on land. So, sorry, good luck.
Well, then that
I'm out of ideas.
That means none of us could have gone with her anyway. Then, because if it's
Yeah,
not
none of us
prepared-
could have gone with her anyway.
I will tell Yuri's girl, like,
we could send
Kier. Kier, we could send you both, but I don't think he can breathe
Gugnok
underwater.
can't breathe.
She kind of like looks at him. She looks around the deck, and she goes over to like a barrel, and just like kicks it over. And she goes, "There, I have solved your problem."
Put them in the barrel? Is that what she wants to do? Oh my god, it's gonna be like in The Hobbit.
Caribbean, where they have the boat under the water.
Is she attempting to make a diving bell out of a barrel?
Yeah.
Trap the water inside, or trap the air
She
inside.
basically suggests that he just goes underwater with his head in the barrel, and
Okay.
she'll just like like a
Here's
little rope.
Here's the thing. Listen, if we're gonna do this, Matt, I want like a cutscene. I want like a cutscene
Yes.
of like what
Okay.
happens
Yes.
at the end of all of this, like right before all of the decisions would culminate. I want a cutscene of like the Gugnok Kier.
I ship it.
Sideways.
OTP. I ship it. Let's go.
All right.
No, we can't. No,
She's like 17.
she's a child.
Is she a child?
She's a literal child.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought she
she's
was
like,
a teenager.
She's definitely like a teen.
She's still under.
She's like a tween.
Oh, okay.
She's a tween.
Queen.
But how old is he? We don't know.
He's a
Knock?
grown ass
Enough
man.
said.
Yeah, he's a
Problematic.
grown ass man.
Don't defend them.
So you
No.
guys,
I was just
This
trying
is-
to make it work for Christy, but never mind.
No, it's fine. You
But
valid.
Give them
So-
10 years.
you guys like discuss this whole thing back and forth. The Eric Cocker are like during this whole thing. Eventually, you sort of like you kind of come to the conclusion. You like at some point somebody has to get Gugnock. He kind of comes up. He's like, "Urgh." You like explain this to him as you begin to like explain all of this to him. Nimue, Kier just like fucks off over towards the bodies again, and like is like dragging this like makeshift diving bell that she's grabbed like with her and brings it over there. And you're like explaining this to him, and he has this like progressively more like
Oh, no.
bewildered look on his face. And as you finish, he says, "Am I to understand that you wish for me to go babysitting the fish child on some insane mission of hers? Why
Yes.
would I agree to this? Having to protect." And he like turns, and as he says this, you guys like look. Kier Yizgra grabs the big sword guy, like grabs the top of his like chopped head, takes her claws, like rakes them across his neck,
Yeah.
fucking rips his head the rest of the way off.
Yeah.
I just-
bet
And then
she
just,
gets
like-
she gets some
just,
spine
like,
out with it.
She like ties the severed head like around her waist and goes over and like turns up the diving bell and like looks at Gugnock and goes like, and he goes, "Actually, no further questions.
Yeah,
this is
that's
fine."
what I thought, sir. Have a good time. Kill as many Ignians as you can. That is your orders from me. And also, Gugnock, stay alive. Okay, thanks.
He goes over, he like stumps over, and he in Orcish, he goes, "All right, small child, what are we doing?" And she like looks at him and responds in Sahajin. You hear like, and he's like, what?" And she rolls her eyes and like to him in the barrel. And he like thunk, puts the barrel over his head. His kind of like his arms are like out at the bottom, and she sort of like guides him up to like up onto the railing of the ship, and then
Wait,
just sort of.
is he armed? Like, does he have a weapon?
Oh yeah, he's
Okay,
definitely
okay,
armed.
good.
She just pushes him off the side and then jumps into the water. And like his weight and the weight of his like weapon are like not quite enough to fully sink the barrel. So like Kier dives down a couple times, and you watch her like secure a bunch of rocks to the bottom of this barrel with like strips of like pieces of rope and things like that, until the barrel like sinks down enough that Gugnock is just like a walking pair of legs on the bottom of the bottom of the ocean floor
Before he
under
hops
this barrel.
Before he hops in the water, I'm gonna put a potion of healing in his bag just in case
Okay.
he or she
All right,
needs
so
it.
there's a potion of healing. All right, so the two of them go off
their
on their
little
way.
bitty
They sort of like head off under the water, and they go out of range after a little
Oh
while.
my god.
And Israk, the Arakaka leader, kind of like looks at all of this and is like, mentally to goes like, "I do not know what I have witnessed, but I feel better knowing that the Sahajin priestess will not be present for any of the rest of this." She says, "You have agreed to follow us to our village?"
Yes.
She says, "And you will be sailing your boat there, or you have other means?"
We will all be going super, super fast. Our boats will be following behind us. So we can get there really quickly, get to your village, your people, discuss, and hopefully, imagine, Christy, Nimue doesn't know. Hopefully we can fly super fast to go do what we need to do.
300 feet. Movement.
How many hours?
For 8 hours.
That's what I thought.
That's fucking insane.
It's insane.
And it's so the thing is, just so we know, because I don't want it to be bite us all in the butt next time, and I will repeat this before
It
game
takes a
next
minute.
time. takes a minute to reform into physical shape and a minute to go into gaseous state and back. Like it's a minute to change back and forth for 8 hours. So
We have to be somewhere safe. To
No
do it.
combat. We gotta be
you
safe.
can't do it in the middle of combat. It doesn't help you in combat. You can't fight while in gaseous form. You're just a mist. So like.
Alrighty. Well then,
But I will-
the
Grab the
group of
prayer
you-
bead and just go, please work, please work.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
And an explosion of crabs. You guys turn into.
No,
Hey, like-
my magic is not crab based.
Oh, okay. Crab-based magic.
It's just, because it was given to me, told to me as it's like for like divine users when I
Mhm.
I use the bead. It's just the same kind of light that you always see
Yep.
around.
See this, you go. Everybody sort of like there's like this aura of white light, and then all of you guys sort of like dissolve into like a vaporous fog that kind of commingles with the foggy air around you. The Arakok are like take to the sky, take wing, and you guys follow after them, and the group of you head off towards the peaks of the Bright Feather Village. And as you approach, Port is on having orders to follow behind you. That is where we will end our session tonight.
Hey.
So hey,
Hell yeah.
GG.
thank you guys for joining me tonight. Good session as always. Thank everybody at home who's hanging here. I don't know why Chris Hansen. Oh, it's because we were shipping a giant orc man with an underage fish girl.
I didn't know she was underage.
That's like Chris Hansen entered the chat.
Yeah, that's what they all say, Christy.
Well, on that note, good night, everybody.
See you next
So-
Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining us. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Fuck me.